Mixed Tag Show.
The Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna
and blue.
Damn.
Now, here's your host,
Jenna and Blue Magic.
What's up?
What's going on?
You're listening and watching the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and Blue.
Blue. With Scoochie, son.
What's going
I
on?
feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
Saw me last week.
Really?
We was at
Yeah.
a different location.
Shout out to the Jarvis Harris podcast.
Shout out to Jabba Tears podcast for
We
having
had
us on the crossover show.
Yes. So it's something I believe we're going to do ever so often,
Right,
just to switch it up.
right.
We were on their territory.
Yeah, and I think some other podcasts also want us on theirs as well. So
You think?
yeah, I've heard some rumbles.
Here's some rumbles.
Yeah, I heard on the
Did
dirt sheets.
Mesler report
Yeah,
on
I
it?
seen on the dirt sheets.
All right, we gotta dabble and talk to them and see what's Gucci.
Exactly.
Okay.
How was your week?
I think I'm sick again, but I'm on vacation.
So it's a win-lose situation.
Something like that. What about you? How's your week going?
It's okay. It's the week before Christmas, so kind of like gotta get last-minute gifts for my son.
What about me?
I gotta get like you one more gift.
Yeah?
And then we're good for next week. Yeah, I have one already. I bought one in Cali for you. I told you.
I'm screaming right now. I'm not actually screaming.
I'm about to
but-
say it. Please don't.
No, I'm screaming though.
I don't-
Okay. All right. No, you don't
No.
get this one?
Nope.
You will eventually.
I prefer not to.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, it was an interesting weekend.
Okay. So, good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Like your sweater.
I know. It's the man. I'm the man. So, I have to rep the man.
You're not the man.
Who's the man then?
Becky Lynch.
So, if I'm wearing her gear, that means I'm the man.
It doesn't work that way. We had this conversation when we tried to own the baseball jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And remember I thought I was AJ because I thought I was phenomenal. And then,
Mm-hmm.
sorry about that again.
Right, yeah, because I had like a concussion afterwards. Whatever. I like your sweater though. Where'd
Thank
you get
you.
it from?
From the WWE shop.
Shout out to the WWE shop. Get all your Christmas gear from there. Time's a wasting, right? Christmas is next week.
Yeah.
Christmas is next week.
So y'all get your rush deliveries in.
Absolutely.
So you definitely need to use
You
our
can't
code.
get this one. This is exclusive. This is
sold out.
hot commodity.
It's out of here.
I think we got a skit.
think we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have something for Christmas.
Okay.
All right.
Well, before Christmas, because the whole point is you want them to get it before Christmas. Am
Yeah.
I right or am I right?
No, you're not right. It could be dropped on Christmas.
Okay. So listen, I'm over here trying to talk to you. I'm not actually focused because I'm trying to do these points. I know we're not up to that, but I think we're gonna have to.
Hold off on it?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But do the thing.
Good thing.
You know. Da-na-na. So at least when we post it,
That's an update.
exactly.
That's an up-
and
Here-
when,
and here's your update.
do it again. Wait. From the beginning.
And here's your update.
All right, Bob. Looks like so and so is. Okay, we gotta do it one more time.
And here's your update.
So it looks like in the league this week, Bob is.
Why you keep calling me Bob? My name is Blue.
I don't know. It just seems like a name to, like when you're, like a newscast.
My name's
like
my real
reporter.
name's not even Robert. Like
Bobby, Bob. No, it's a good name to have if you're gonna be in that field.
Okay, I guess.
All right. So I'm not gonna focus on the points anymore, but I think there's gonna be some changes based off because of TLC and stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It was very intense TLC weekend. We'll get into that in a few.
So guess what?
What?
We reached 1,500 followers on Instagram. A little less than a month, son. Congrats.
Thank you to the followers for following us on Instagram. Please, if you have time to do so on Twitter, if you still have a Twitter. I know not a lot of people use Twitter anymore.
Well,
No, you'll be surprised. Like Twitter is like
no, I know, but then I'm also surprised how many people does actually use Twitter.
Yeah.
How's my voice sound, by the way?
Sound
It's
better.
holding.
It's
Holding
its
Okay.
ground.
Because I text you last night and
You're like-
you gave me this emoji.
Yeah, like you starting to lose your voice again. I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Can you
Old school,
tell?
yeah.
Okay. I know my 90s stuff. Get out of here.
All right.
So we should definitely do a 1,500 giveaway.
Yes,
Well, not $1,500 like dollars.
No,
right?
no,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
But like because of the followers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,500 followers.
Okay.
If you give a giveaway for that.
All right, so we'll come up with something.
All right.
I think it. Yeah, we'll come up with something, but just keep a lookout on for that. And what else are we looking out for next week?
The Mixed Tag Show Year-End Awards. We've been doing a polls every day.
Yeah.
We've so far done, what is it?
Rookie of the year.
We did Rookie of the Year. We've done Pay-Per-View of the Year, Tag Team of the Year. We also did the Comeback Superstar of the Year.
We did?
Yeah.
I didn't vote.
Yeah, you got to go vote.
Is it up?
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, it's the current one that's up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, Comeback Superstar of the Year. And
Jenna.
I have a button for that.
Whatever.
But yeah, please go ahead and vote on our Instagram stories. We're dropping one every day. And next week's show will announce the winners. Okay.
All right.
Want to jump into Final Battle?
Sure. I felt like something fell. No?
No.
Okay, I'm just hearing things.
Yeah.
All right, get into Final Battle.
Did you watch any of it yet?
I did. I was in the middle of watching Cody and Jay Lethal, so I didn't actually get to the ladder war yet, which I know that's probably sick. I know. I'm sorry.
How did you feel about the Marty Scurll versus Christopher Daniels?
So is your man's retiring or?
Christopher Daniels?
Yeah.
His contract is done with Ring of Honor.
Got it.
As well as the rest of the SCU.
Interesting.
So this was like his final match with Ring of Honor. So this is one of his.
But he's not renewing it?
No, he's not renewing it. SCU is out of there.
Wow. So where are they going?
We'll get to that later.
Oh, okay. I don't have it here. So you have something for me?
I when we get to after the ladder wars,
okay,
we'll discuss it real quick.
Talk to me. Okay.
But yeah, this was basically his farewell.
Uh-huh.
You know, most of the time when you leave a corporation, a promotion, you pass it down. And Marty Scurll is going to be the face of Ring of Honor most likely, and he got his own group at this point called Villain Enterprise.
Yeah. Which
premiered in the next episode. You said you got to Cody and Jay Lethal. Did you enjoy that match?
Of course I did. It's a really, really good match. I mean, Cody, it's so funny how he switches from being heel to face.
Yeah.
He does a really good job at it. The crowd was very into it. I didn't get to see the whole thing. I was legit in the middle, and I had to, as I'm sick, you know.
Wait till you see Brandy Rhodes spear. Oh, my God.
She got speared or she speared?
She speared.
Go off, Brandy.
Twice.
Yeah?
Clean. Super clean. And it's being called the Bionic Spear because, you know, she got that plate.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Oh, man. I legit have it, like, on my like laptop is literally in the middle of the match.
Like, Mark Mode, I posted on my IG story. She reposted it. I was like, I like you.
Were you screaming?
No.
Okay.
I don't do all that.
Did you see Jazz?
She reposted our
well, not reposted, but quoted
and retweeted.
Okay.
Because it still is in there.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You picked out that clip.
Thank you.
You quarterback this week.
Yeah. But yeah, to the Ladder Wars, this was a tense match between the Briscoes, Young Bucks, and SCU. And again, this is Young Bucks and SCU's last match. So everybody kind of knew that Briscoes was going to go over.
Yeah.
But just in the fashion, like, they didn't leave anything.
I heard it was, like, really, like, bloody, just violent.
Bloody, violent. They bought some Being Elite stuff in there with the sledgehammer.
Wow. And
it was just a complete masterpiece. Kazarian did a shout-out to AJ with a Styles Clash on the chair. And,
wow. I am definitely gonna go and watch the rest, especially since I'm on vacation.
Right,
so.
like it's such a great event. I enjoyed it all the way through. Overall, this is again SCU's and the Elite's last hurrah. So it was very emotional for everybody. They did their farewell that night.
Yeah.
They did their farewell at Philly the next day during tapings. This just fuels all Elite wrestling. And I don't know if you've seen Being Elite this past week.
No, I didn't get the chance.
They turned down a WWE as well.
Yeah.
And they kind of mentioned it in their Being Elite and why they did. And they kind of was like, oh, we've been watching Raw. We see how you treat your tag teams. So.
How do you rate the Final Battle?
A. I enjoyed it.
From what I saw, I'm pretty, like, I can't give you an actual, like,
grade,
but I would say it was getting there. I was entertained through the whole thing. I told you I was watching the Fatal 4-Way with the women. That was cool. This girl finally beat what's her name? Sumi. How you say her name? Sumi.
I don't know how to say her
Sumi
full name.
Sakai, something like that.
Right.
Old girl finally got beat. So she had the woman Kelly Klein.
Kelly Klein.
She beat her, and after she had the title for like 8 months or what have you. So yeah, I thought it was pretty dope. I would love to see the women's division grow.
Yeah.
Just because we see how women that are treated on WWE, at least they'll have a platform to go somewhere else if it's not
another
working
option. But there's also Shimmer. I want to get into Shimmer, which is
I'm very excited for Shimmer.
All women's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Adam Page had a match as well against, I forgot the guy's name, and I'm mad because he impressed me.
Yeah.
And it was such
I can't remember either because I thought we were only talking about.
Yeah, I know. I just thought about it just now. I was like, yo, that was a great match too because it was very powerhouse. Anyway, let's get
into TLC.
Yeah.
What match stood out to you?
The match that stood out to me was 2 matches, to be honest with you. It was actually 3. I'm not gonna lie. The match that stood out to me was AJ versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
That was a very technical match.
Yeah.
Great storytelling. I think it was the best match of the night. In my opinion, the Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, that impressed me because Ronda really. I was like, I can't even hate it. I wanted to find something to say. And I was like.
So you know what my thing is with TLC though? Like, again, it just goes back to what we were saying ever since Evolution. It's like the women. Once the women come up, it's like, okay, it's like the baton. Like, I'm going to pass it to you, and then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to run and do whatever. And it was that case, right? Like, Natalya and Ruby's match, I felt like that picked up the pay-per-view.
Right.
Right? What did you think of that match?
The match was pretty good. I just think it went a little bit longer than I wanted to.
Okay, I can see that.
But the whole element of taking out the Riot Squad without no help was perfect.
Yeah.
Them taking bullets for each other, that was great.
Yeah.
The details of the match, I just think it was just a little bit too slow, like too much time.
Yeah.
Because
had they made it a little bit shorter,
it would have been better.
Yeah.
Like having the tire stop to get the jacket, get the glasses, point to the sky.
Yeah.
Like I'm like.
Yeah. Well, she had to pay homage.
I know you can pay homage, but
her dad.
Yeah, but it's just like.
Yeah. No, I get you. I feel you. But besides that, I thought that was a pretty good match. And like you said, with the Raw Women's Championship match, you said Ronda impressed you.
Right.
Do we have something like?
Gasp.
Yeah.
I know.
See?
No. Put it on the list.
Okay. Why were you impressed by her?
Just the her fluidity, like in moving to moves into moves, like from the suplex and then turns into an armbar, and but that's mat wrestling, so I'm pretty sure I expect that from her.
Yeah.
But just to tell the story in the ring was a little bit better than their first match, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Even Nia looked pretty good, but to be honest, Ronda kind of carried the match, in my opinion.
What I will say, and I agree on most of that. Nia, I'm not gonna even front. As much as I'm not the biggest Nia fan, she did well.
She did well.
Ronda, and I read this online, and I agree with this 1,000%. When the lights are on, Ronda shines, and it was this case because you notice most of her pay-per-view matches, minus the one with Bliss,
right?
She's delivered,
right?
Evolution, she delivered. The match with Charlotte, she delivered at Survivor Series. You know what I mean? It hasn't been a match, especially at a pay-per-view, where I'm like, you know what?
She had no choice at Survivor Series.
But regardless, right?
Yeah.
There's always going to be a weakling, and you stepped up, right? You're facing someone that's elite.
Right.
You stepped up.
No, the reason I say that is because she took a lot of hits. She was mainly on the defense. Like I felt like it was one of those things. Like, all right, we got to teach you how to sell.
Yeah. I mean, and with that said, with Ronda, like it's like week to week, it's just like, she'll be here and then she'll regress. But when the lights are on, I think Bleacher Report said that. Someone said it. But when the lights are on, she does deliver. And this was a very, very, very good match. And shout out to the man. She got her revenge on Nia.
Yeah.
I hope that's not it in that sense, but
I think it is. I think that was just one of those like, this is my payback. Unless if she goes to Raw, then they'll probably extend it later on. Yeah. But this is it for that now.
Yeah. So it's not happening at WrestleMania.
No. How did you feel about the AJ Daniel Bryan?
I thought that was a really, really good match, and I think I that's the AJ that I like. You know what I mean? I think I like AJ either in a heel role
or chasing.
Chasing, exactly. He's fine as the top dog, but after a while,
chasing.
It's just he has to chase for whatever it is, and I thought he did a really good job. Daniel, I love this new Daniel Bryan.
We've never seen this kind of heel from Daniel Bryan in WWE.
And like I said before, I wondered how he was gonna make the fans hate him, right? And he did it. And
Found a way.
He found a way. And the whole fickle thing. What did he scream out on Tuesday?
Shane.
Yeah. Man, it's dope.
The one thing I liked about this match is again is the psychology.
Yeah.
Because they knew each other and it showed in the match. Like they countered each other's move, and then it took a counter to get the move.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
And the crazy thing is, I think they can do even better.
They can.
It was a really good match, but I think they can do better.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if this gets one more. See, this is a feud that I don't mind. You know how some feuds you're just like, all right. This one I don't mind to see one more stipulation match.
Right.
Imagine if it was a stipulation match.
Yeah, I think they're trying to stay away with that with Daniel Bryan for now.
Because I got you.
So.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to if there is a third match.
You know, what I'm not looking forward to.
Seth and Dean.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Stop it. Just end it now. That match was so
bad,
brutal,
in a boring way.
Very brutal.
First of all, it needed a stipulation. The whole point of TLC is it's a stipulation type of, pay-per-view. That Extreme Rules, there's no reason why the whole card shouldn't be
right.
You know what I mean? But like you said, it was brutal, and we'll talk about it definitely a little bit more in regards to the reaction and hot topics. But it goes back to what I said earlier about the women, right? The women, they pass the baton. It's like, okay, we did this. Now you got to top that.
Yeah.
Dean and Steph, there's no reason why they're not putting on 5-star matches.
And coming after Daniel Bryan and AJ, you have to.
You have to. And it's just like I feel like with the men, like I love Seth. Dean, he's cool, but it's just like the men are so lax.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make this a sexist thing or anything like that, but I just feel like, I don't know, maybe
on
because
Raw. On Raw. I think SmackDown is more competition.
Okay,
on Raw, they chilling.
Okay. Well, I won't disagree with that. But just in general, it's like, I don't know if it's because you have the position that you're in already, but there's no reason why this type of match, this emotional feud, you didn't kill it. This was terrible. The fact that the fans are chanting, this is boring.
Yeah.
And chanting Becky.
Yeah.
And and my thing is like, besides storyline, Roman, him, and Dean are like brothers, right?
So you should have more chemistry.
Not only that you should have chemistry, but do it for Roman, right? Like, this is like, it's for you, like, unfortunately he had to go because he's sick.
Yeah.
So now it's for you to step it up even more and show, okay, who's the top, what is it, to grab the brass rings. So now everybody that's been claiming that Seth should be the top face or top person in the company, and Finn and all these people, you didn't deliver. So now how can anyone trust you as the top guy? Because this was the feud.
This is the opportunity.
This should have been one of the feuds of the year. And I don't want to see it anymore.
And to be put after the WWE Championship, it was like, all right, here's your chance. Like, we didn't put the WWE Championship before you. We put the IC title in your feud before the WWE Championship. Right. Mind you, AJ and Daniel had a way better build than they did. So it was just like, all right, this is your chance.
In a short period of time.
A short period of time.
Because they instantly switched the title off of AJ.
Right before Survivor Series. So it was just like, here's your shot to show what you got, and you've been burning it down, and you're the guy, and it didn't live up.
And then my thing is like, we've been saying it for WrestleMania, right? The triple threat match between the Shield brothers. Now I was like, I really don't want to see it when Roman comes back. Because Roman will maybe deliver, but I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
So I was very disappointed in both of them, and they're much more capable of that. We've seen Seth had, like, crazy good matches this whole year. He might be superstar of the year, right? There's no reason why he didn't perform that way. But what do I know?
But you know what did perform? The triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's title.
So I had this conversation. Shout out to Astro again. I said, dare I say that I like this match better than Evolution between Charlotte and Becky?
Nah. Because to me, to me, that match was better than, because I'm comparing, than the WWE Championship match. To me, the Championship match was the match of the night for me.
Okay.
Only because it didn't have a stipulation and still carried.
So here's my reasoning in regards to that. What was the storyline in the match for Evolution between Becky and Charlotte?
For Becky to step out of Charlotte's shadow.
But she's already stepped out of her shadow. So in that particular match, it was all that was said and done with the other two matches in their feud already, in the promos. In that particular match, what was the story that was told in that match? They just beat the living hell out of each other. It wasn't anyone overcoming anything. It was just, I don't like you at this point. I'm gonna beat you up and end you. There wasn't, for me.
Oh, for you. Well,
for me, there wasn't it was a great match. It was brutal. They, or what have you. But it goes back to what people were saying. This might be better than Sasha and Bayley. You said no, right? Because there was storytelling, right? Where
that was a long build.
There was not even that it was a long build, but just in that particular match, right?
Yeah.
Bayley had to overcome Sasha just being this dominant, cocky heel, and she could never win the big one, right?
Right.
And even in the match, Sasha telling you can't beat me, or stomping out her hand because it was injured.
Right.
It was storytelling, and there was nothing with Becky and Charlotte for Evolution. There wasn't a moment of like, okay, I'm gonna overcome this or do this. For me, it was a great match. It was emotional just because it was the first ever women's pay-per-view. The arena shook.
Right.
I'm not like if anybody's listening or watching, I think it was a great match and one of the top matches of the year. But for me personally, the reason why I thought this match was better, not better, but I felt it more because, one, Becky's the champ, right? And I don't know if you watched her Chronicle thing.
Not yet.
There was a point when she got into the arena and there was a ad for SmackDown. She's not on there, but Charlotte was. She's like, you see this? I'm the champion. Charlotte is on there though, right?
Right.
That's real. 1, 2, Charlotte got put into that match for what?
No reason.
No reason. So it's the same situation. Something that you're constantly handed into. Asuka earned it.
Right.
Right? So now Asuka gotta fight her way between two people that not really messing with each other. Becky's still fighting to show that she's the man. She's supposed to be in the top spot. And then Ronda coming and interfering, not forgetting what Charlotte did to her and what Becky did to her.
Right.
You feel me? So there's so many different stories that played out in that match is why I thought it was better in that sense. Maybe it might not be technically in regards to
the match itself.
Yeah, but I just thought it was better and I felt it more.
On that aspect in terms of like storyline, I get what you're saying. The reason why the storyline for me with Evolution was it was like to solidify I'm better than you between Becky and Charlotte. They hated each other. It's like, yo, this is me. Those wasn't flukes. Yeah. I'm stepping outside of your shadow. Like, I'm done with you. Kind of. That's the way I looked at it from Evolution.
And I feel that, and I agree.
And then with this one, I understand what you're saying, where it was like Asuka earned it, because everybody was asking like, why is Charlotte in this match? Like nobody can answer that.
We thought it was done.
Yeah, everything was done.
On top of that, Charlotte got herself disqualified. You feel me? So
right.
Why is it that
she's being rewarded? Like,
exactly.
So that's why the women came out and then Asuka got her shot and she was earned. I would have loved to see this between Asuka and Becky one-on-one. Yeah. But we already see that it was playing out to another storyline, which you brought out with the Ronda Rousey. To me, it was cool, like to continue that storyline. Yeah. But to me, it feels like it cheapened Asuka once again because she got help to win the title, and it's like it's Ronda again. When Asuka won the Royal Rumble, after she won, Ronda came out. So it's kind of like every time Asuka does this thing, Ronda comes in.
And I get what you're saying. But
that bothered me.
But you saw the crowd did pop when Asuka, regardless.
Yeah.
You know, it at the end of the day, it's all about opportunity. And she saw her opportunity and she got it.
No,
so
you're
I
right.
Get what you're saying.
And TLC is, like Vince said, it's no DQ, anything happens, whatever. But it's just, to me, it was just like, yo, Asuka don't need that. Asuka could have just handled this herself. Yeah. If you wanted to have Ronda come out afterwards and do whatever she wanted to do, cool.
See, the thing is, and just going back to what I originally said in regards to Evolution, I get what you're saying, but I think a lot of people are not realizing that's just the feud itself in regards to Charlotte and Becky. Like, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. But in that actual match, it was, I'm going to mess you up.
Yeah.
That's what it really came down to. It was just violent, chaotic. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what people gravitated to more. With this, I just felt like there was just more. I've always been a big fan about storytelling. You know,
Right.
I love good matches, but if you can actually tell a story within the match, along with tying to the actual storyline of the feud.
Right.
But with that said, what did the people rate TLC?
They gave it an A-. They were generous.
They were very generous.
What do you give it?
I gave it a C.
I give it a B-.
Why did you give it a B minus?
Because overall, the only match that really didn't do well to me was Randy and Rey Mysterio and Dean and Seth.
So the reason why I gave it a C, because I think we as fans, we get a little too like, there's one good match. Oh, that pay-per-view was dope. But let's not forget, on the kickoff show, yeah, Buddy and Cedric was dope.
I didn't get a chance to see that.
That was a dope match. Elias and Bobby was trash. For me, the tag team championship match was trash. The Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin thing was trash.
No, that was stupid.
Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, they could have did better. They didn't do that well. Ray and, like you said, Ray and Randy, these are two Hall of Famers,
Right.
Future Hall of Famers. They didn't deliver. You know what I mean? So now you look at and then Seth and Dean.
Yeah.
So now how many good matches was that? That's Cedric and Buddy, Cedric and Buddy, Natalya, Ruby, Ronda, and Nia, AJ, and Daniel Bryan, and then the main event.
So what's that?
That's like 4 matches, right?
I think that's 5.
Hold on. Yeah, 5 matches.
But then for me, I like the tag team match, even though it was predictable or whatever. But those guys, like wrestling wise, I enjoy watching them work together. Their chemistry is off the chart to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But with that said, so for you that's 6 then, right? So that's half of the matches. For me, is less than half of the matches. That doesn't make it an A minus to me. You can't like you said, final battle you gave it what, an A?
Yeah.
So because all the matches were good.
Yeah.
You can't have like one match carry the whole thing and be like, oh, that's
because you know what it is, we adapt to WWE style. I think that's what it is.
I'm saying. I think we as fans, we just go like, oh, okay, yeah, this one match is good, and we forget that the whole pay-per-view wasn't that good. Anyway, Raw.
Your show.
So there was rumbling since last week that Vince McMahon was going to come on the show, and he did. He opened up the show with, I put the McMahons parentheses in Triple H. I don't know why they keep labeling him as a McMahon, because he's not.
He's a Helmsley.
Exactly. But whatever. So apparently we're gonna shake up Raw, right?
Right.
So they acknowledged that they weren't doing right by us. What did you think about their message?
It felt heartfelt. Like you could tell they was bothered by the past couple of weeks, and it was like them. At first, it felt like last week when you watched it last week. We said this. It felt like they put the blame on Baron Corbin, and they had Seth go out there and take some of the blame. But this week it was them taking like, all right, we hear you guys. Like we gotta reshape, redo, reset, and we're gonna do it. Like we hear you.
I don't buy it, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in hot topics. But I mean, for our debate question or discussion, question. But okay, if that was heartfelt, then that means Raw should have been completely different. But it wasn't at all.
No.
You know, maybe we have to maybe we have to see into the new year.
Right.
You know,
give it a little bit more time.
You know, but right now I'm like, I side-eyed the whole thing. Like, people cheering Vince McMahon when he comes out. I'm like, yeah, that's Vince. And, you know, grew up watching this. So you have, like, you know, a soft spot. But at the same time, I don't trust it.
Right.
So the whole time I was looking at it like.
The only thing that was different on Raw was that they announced 6 people was gonna come up from NXT, and even that you don't know if they're gonna go to Raw or SmackDown.
Exactly. So, you know, like you said, Vince had said the whole then now for everything. I'm like, and one of the things I had tweeted, I was like, y'all gonna put Sasha in?
I saw that, and the reason why I kind of believe it is because I don't know if you realize, but he low key got teary-eyed.
Who, Vince?
Yeah. He low-key got teary-eyed.
Vince looks a little bit.
No. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that out of this. But he looked teary-eyed. He kind of, like, when he said then, now, and forever, his voice kind of cracked.
Okay.
So I was like, he kind of...
You giving them more leeway than I did, but I was just like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what did stand out to you for the night of Raw? because I don't want to go like too much into it because it wasn't really much different.
I mean, again, like nothing really stood out to me. Nothing.
Right.
The whole thing, and my thing is, and we're going still discussing the beginning, the opening segment. You're making Baron Corbin the scapegoat of what you're writing. I understand someone has to take the blame, like, okay, and he's the authority that took power to his head. But like, okay, Baron Corbin is not ultimately the one that ruined Raw. It's your writing that ruined Raw. I understand someone has to, and the fans cheered for that.
It was more. I think that was just after they did whatever they did. It was them going back into storyline mode.
I guess, but, I just like I'm not cutting them slack. Like I want to see something different and cutting edge, and nothing for me. I thought it was silly to bring out Rude and Apollo Crews and Gable.
Same thing that happened the
and
night before.
Legit. So how was that different?
Yeah.
But what? And then Dean Ambrose. Okay, cool. He did the open challenge thing, but you squash Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze deserved better than that. I'm sorry. I just watched the match with him and Ricochet on NXT. Fire.
It reminds you why Tyler Breeze was so...
I already knew. Like,
No,
I've been
I'm just saying in general.
I know.
People, you know what I mean?
I just wanted to say that. Like,
You've been already there.
I've been Tyler Breeze guy. Like,
whenever he gets his push,
yes,
I was there.
Yes.
Right.
Don't forget it.
Right. But it's just but then it goes back to now you see on Raw, and I'm like, okay, maybe Tyler Breeze they're gonna get, at least if it was a compelling match. Like, Tyler's not gonna beat Dean, at least not right now.
I would have loved to see him win, actually.
I'm not saying I would love to, because he's technically what you call mid-card, low to mid-card, right? So that's a perfect opportunity for someone to win, especially against Dean Ambrose.
Right.
Because Dean doesn't need a mid-card title.
He doesn't.
But my point is, it was a squash match.
Yeah.
And then again, if anybody watched NXT last week and you saw the match between Ricochet, if you forgot,
go watch.
Because Tyler shows that time and time again he's one of the top, like, in regards to in-ring ability.
Right.
But I already knew, just to change the subject a little bit, I knew that the character wasn't going to fly on the main roster. And it's not because the crowd doesn't like it, but because how Vince Creative treats characters like that.
I said this because usually when we watch these shows, I know you notice that I fall back off of Twitter a little bit. I let you handle Twitter. I be in the Facebook groups, talking to the Facebook group people. Yeah. And I said this. I don't believe in Dean. I don't believe him as an IC champion because he sucked before. I don't believe him. He was sucked as a U.S. champion. He sucked as a WWE champion.
The only time Dean is good is really in the Shield.
Right. And give him the IC title again, I don't believe in it. Like,
and even right when he came back, it was cool. But
really?
We said it on the episode. Let's see, because Dean, it's gonna revert back to
something that doesn't work. And this is what Stone Cold was talking about.
Yeah.
When he got mad at Stone Cold, he's WWE champion at the time. It's like, yo, it looks like you're lazy. You know what I mean? Like, your abilities is just like your character.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's no real direction with it.
And it goes back to accountability. Like, you have to own up to it. If a legend's telling you that.
Right. He took offense to it and tried to call out Brock and other people.
Like, you have to own up to that. And you're talented.
Right.
But you got to, again, it just goes back down to what we said for TLC. Like, you have the positions that you have, and you take it for granted. Because, like, with Roman's case, you see that life isn't promised, isn't guaranteed.
Right.
You can get sick or worse, or get injured, never come back. And he got injured.
Yeah.
A bad injury.
And came back.
So that you should be like.
Yeah.
Because when I watched his his comeback
story, whatever.
I felt that you're passionate about wrestling, so that needs to show with your work. But
anything else on Raw stood out to you?
Ronda Rousey came out. What did you? She wanted a new like a new opportunity in regards to once after a champion defends their title and wins, that the next night they defend their title. What do you think about that?
I think it's just to show her grit, and that's cool for her character or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the point of that segment, to be honest with you.
And again, it just goes back down to what nothing changed. Ronda Rousey was still, top female.
Right.
I like the gauntlet match. That was the best part of Raw for me. The last hour.
Right.
Dana showed,
Yeah, Dana showed out for me.
Showed out.
Bailey showed out. Mickey James showed she still had it.
Natalya even did good.
Right.
And then Natalya versus Sasha. I know we like try to say it to like every week we say it, but that is your best women's wrestler.
And this is why they put her last in Gauntlet every time.
Every time. That between and I've never saw a match with Natalya, like no shade to her, that I was like, oh, Natalya did like with Ruby Riott, that was cool.
Right.
But like I'm like, yo, this is good. That was good.
Yeah, and I knew Natalya was gonna win, so
because that was the storyline they were gonna do with Ronda anyway. So we knew, you know, and I didn't want Sasha to get fed to Ronda.
Not right now.
Not right now.
She needs to be in herself.
Like really, like they're behind her.
Right.
But that, whatever with Natalya and her, she's your best women's wrestler, and it's unfortunate that they don't see that. And I'm hoping if we're gonna change
they see it. That's why they put her last every Gauntlet.
Yeah.
They see that's their best wrestler. There's a reason why they put Bayley first and Sasha last almost every time.
Yeah.
Bayley's first because she's one of the best,
Yeah.
and Sasha's one of the best.
Yeah.
So you put them to start off and end it, so they can work with the ones that they need to work with in the middle.
That's true. I feel that. What did you rate Raw?
I told you C+ at first, maybe B-, but then looking back at it, it's like a C, C-.
And then viewers actually rated it B+. I gave it a C. I gave it a C because it was the same exact Raw, except for the Gauntlet match.
Yeah, but the Gauntlet happened like what?
For an hour.
No, it happened before. Like how long ago? Like.
Yeah. But it, like again, when the women get to showcase their ability, I'm always for it, and they showed out.
And they gave them an hour. That was dope.
Yeah. But
to my show.
Yeah.
Where the change really did happen.
Fact. Absolutely.
Like what they said the night before happened on the show that didn't need to happen on, and it still raised it. Like we always said, like how can SmackDown get better?
Legit.
And it was like, here we go.
Legit. And the crazy thing, before you actually get into it, Vince appeared on SmackDown, right?
Twice.
So that means you had your hand more into SmackDown than you typically do. So why is it that you're focusing more on SmackDown, not focusing on making Raw better?
You know what I feel like it is?
What? To
me, this whole thing, right? They mean it, but I also feel like it's one of those things where Vince is starting to pass it down. Kind of situation. Okay. He knows that his own character brings ratings, which you did go up this past week. I don't know if we talk about that later or not.
We do, yeah.
But like, I feel like this is just Vince passing it because everybody's looking like, yo, he looks not like himself. Yeah. Even though he's in his moment, like he gave the rub to.
He sounds good, but he doesn't look himself. Yeah.
Right. So the way Shane started off, I feel bad for Paige. I just want to see what her next role is. But she did well. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the changes we didn't need. Yeah. But we changed it. Well, I want to see what happens.
Well, the good thing is they said it's just like her, like the role is still there, but I guess maybe the title changes. I don't know, but we'll see.
Right.
But I don't think they're gonna get rid of Paige in that sense. So.
How did you feel about the opening match between Asuka and Naomi?
I was happy. Like when we've been saying, Naomi did a great job when she was the champion and 2007 was it 17? Yeah, last year. Yeah. So I was fresh. Right. Two friends that been like.
And they showed that they know each other too.
It was a good, really, really good match. Asuka and Naomi are both super athletic. Yep. And then I like what Vince said to Charlotte and Becky. Listen, all right. Yeah, it happened.
Figure it out.
How you gonna get back to where you need to? Right. You know, and it was a really good opening segment. I loved it. I love when they started with women.
I also liked how Vince gave the rep to Naomi. It was like, yo, give him that look again. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, that was a feel good moment. Like at first I'm like, I'm with you, Vince. You know what I mean? I was genuinely happy. Of course, Naomi wasn't gonna win just because Asuka just won.
Right.
And I forgot to put this in hot topics, but we'll discuss it. Remind me about Asuka, but it was good.
And it was just I had something I wanted to say. Vince is not very known to be dealing with the women division. So for him to step out during that moment.
That's why I was just like, okay, I like that.
He's going to give it that rub. Perfect. Yeah. And then moving on, the tag team division has finally been lifted out of the grave.
Finally.
when the Usos, Good Brothers, Sanity,
And I know
the Bar.
I know you were hyped for the Good
What?
Brothers. Yeah.
Like when the Good Brothers came out, I'm like, yes.
And it goes back to what we've been saying for weeks. I think they're listening to the show.
Yo, for real, like
It's the same
and
opportunities.
How was it on Twitter on the reaction? Because I know.
I didn't
Oh,
get
you
to
didn't watch it
yeah.
live. But on the Facebook group, as soon as Good Brothers came out, everybody just started putting emojis and gifts like, yes, finally.
Yeah, because
like,
remember when they had that like low key that push
right.
against the Bludgeon Brothers? It was just like
everybody wanted that.
yeah.
So and they put it on Twitter too, like, see,
no,
guys?
not even that everybody wanted that, but we didn't mess with it because
Right.
the Bludgeon Brothers suck.
Yeah,
Right.
but
So,
they was happy for the Good Brothers. So having that and having Sanity jump in,
yeah.
which kind of confirms Nikki Cross is going to SmackDown, which
Yeah.
I'm excited about. It just was like, yes, thank you for weakening the tag team division and putting notice
And
that
how long we been saying for Sanity, like you
Yeah.
know what I mean, just to give that chaotic
right,
like, edge to SmackDown, like SmackDown for the past, for me for the past since the shakeup
yeah,
has been. It's very rare that I felt like it wasn't a good episode. Maybe a couple of times, but it's been consistent.
right.
But it was just it's missing certain things, right? Like
These was it.
like it's missing like something chaotic to happen,
Right,
you know. And
right.
I think that's what Sanity. I know that's what Sanity brings, just like some like edge.
Right,
Like Raw, I can feel can get edgy sometimes, but SmackDown kind of plays it safe
Timid.
with just and it's about good wrestling and
good
good
storylines,
storylines.
and keep it moving.
But get a little crazy too,
Right.
because then SmackDown will be on fire if it can do that.
And
You know what I mean?
And Good Brothers pointing out like, yo, it's the same 3 teams. We're tired of it. It was like, see, they're listening. They're gonna point it out that they're listening.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Sandy was great.
AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan and Andrade Cien Almas
My God,
with Selena Vega.
my God.
I was so, you know how much I love Mustafa Ali. You know.
And then Cien Almas and Vega.
And Andrade and Selena. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay. And I was watching this because I didn't watch it live.
Right.
The 2 hours went quick. Like, I fast forwarded the commercials, but I'm like, oh, that's it?
Yeah, it did. And even I don't know if you've seen the segment with Miz and Vince was like old school.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, exactly.
It's like he's like can't come out to play right now. I'm trying to joke with him. It's like
yeah.
it was just awesome. In this match, and having Mustafa get the pin on Daniel Bryan,
That's big.
and have AJ like basically co-sign for him, and then for them to announce that Mustafa Ali is officially part of the SmackDown
That's
Live
big.
like
That's
roster.
big. He deserves it. He is someone that puts on. I've never seen a bad match from him.
And he could talk on the mic.
He's like the perfect superstar. If they give him that opportunity, I can see him being, you know, a U.S. champion and even more. If they really want to do change and stuff like that.
And to me, it shows that once you get to 205 Live, that's not the end all be all for you, and you can advance out of it.
Yeah.
Because nobody expected him to come to SmackDown. People seen him as a future 205 Live champion.
Yeah.
But he kind of like
cruiserweight.
Yeah, 205 cruiserweight champion. But he kind of like jumped over that and went to the next thing. Like, who saw that coming? But I just feel I don't know. I'm scared for 205 because
you're taking out some people.
It seems like you're trying to
disband it.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Well, I mean, listen, I'm scared for it, but at the same time, for whatever reason, whatever they're doing is they're not elevating 205 Live, and it's unfortunate because when you still have Buddy, you have Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Gulak, you still have a lot of people there that
Tony Nese.
You have a lot of people that still can really do something. You know,
Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about Jack, but
his mat skills are crazy to me.
But yeah, like I don't know, we'll see. But if they're gonna get rid of 205 Live, it's just gonna make the main roster still like really cluttered.
Right.
I don't know, but we'll see. But they got to do something for 205 Live if they want it. If we're gonna give that platform to those superstars.
What did you give SmackDown?
I give it an A. The only reason why I didn't give it an A+ is because there was something that I thought was corny.
Was it the intro with Shane?
No, there was something that I thought I didn't care for, and I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was Jeff and Joe. It was just like it was something that I just didn't think was like, you know what I mean. And if I'm gonna give something an A+, it has to be the whole show was dope, but it was very good. Like it's essentially almost an A+, but it was just like I said,
that one little.
and I can't even remember.
Blemish.
Yeah.
So I gave it an A+. I enjoy even the Jeff and Joe thing. Even though it wasn't like amazing.
Maybe because it was short. I don't know.
Yeah, it was short, but to me it continued the storyline and the crowd was into it.
Yeah.
As much as the crowd that was there. Because I seen that was empty as well.
Yeah.
But I just enjoyed it. Like, because again, we keep saying like, how can SmackDown like get to the next level a little bit? And it was this, like, you had new people pop up, new opportunities, storylines continue through opportunities. We got a tag team match between two people, because next week Mustafa Ali goes against the Enormous.
it was Shinsuke and Rusev. I thought that was dumb. That's what it was.
Well, yeah, but no, because to be honest with you, again, gauging from like the Facebook group, a lot of people didn't care for Shinsuke. They're like, yo, they're misusing him, whatever have you.
Yeah.
But that little interchange between them, and he called him. He's like, you're not SmackDown.
Yeah.
You're Total Divas. Like,
Yeah.
everybody bought that. Was like, all right, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Like I told you, I'm like, when it plays too much to the silly, the comedy. For me, it's always been that way. So for me, I gravitated to that. I'm excited that if they finally want to give Shinsuke an opportunity, and even Rusev again an opportunity, I'm cool with that. And let them have a feud. But I didn't care for.
I
so
liked
that's
it,
what stopped
especially when he played to how Rusev is obsessed with his legs on Total Divas.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's true. He's always talking about his legs.
Yeah.
But
what do the people rate SmackDown?
it looks like an A to me. I don't know if you want to give it A-.
I say A-.
Okay, so A-.
There you go. But all in all, we all pretty much gave it the same rating and thought it was pretty good.
Right.
So let's jump into hot topics.
Hot topics. Plans for Carmella and R-Truth are to shoot some vignettes at WWE's headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut after Christmas, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider.
What do you think they're going to do with Mella and R-Truth? A lot of people are saying that R-Truth is going to show up somewhere else when number 30 comes, like, just to give it that whole comedy thing.
I feel like R-Truth is going to show up at number 1.
Yeah.
And like, no, it's not your turn yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he comes back at 15. And like, no.
Yeah. It's going to be something where it doesn't pan out.
Or he just show up in the women's Royal Rumble by accident.
At number 30. Like,
And Carmella's like, no, it's
Right,
me.
right.
And he's like, oh, okay.
So producers for this week of Raw were Michael Haynes for the Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin match, and then Art Anderson produced Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre, Dean Malenko and Devon Dudley for the tag team #1 contender match. And
Who won that? I don't remember.
The Revival, I think.
Oh, yeah. That was a little change they did for the Raw, I guess.
Yes, tag team division of Raw still not. Whatever. And then Tyson Kidd.
You put TJ Kidd.
I
That's
know.
funny.
I put like both his names together. Tyson Kidd and I was like, this looks weird. Tyson Kidd and Jason Jordan produced the women gauntlet match. No wonder why Natalya won. Nah, I'm kidding. But I guess TJ and
Jason Jordan?
yeah, did a really good job.
They
huh?
did. Jason Jordan's been learning backstage roles.
So he's not coming back.
It's not guaranteed yet, but knowing WWE, they probably waiting to get to his hometown to
Yeah.
let him do it as a retirement, if that's the case.
Yeah.
The matches were okay. Like
the only thing that stood out was the gauntlet matches, and I just again like you see all these like Hall of Famers and like legends that they know better, and
Right.
I don't know if it's them who produces it or the actual superstars that are just I don't know. But Seth Rollins, he was interviewed. I can't say this name but was on
Fire Row. Just say Fire Row.
Okay, Fire LA 107.9, and he was asked if he spoke to Roman, and essentially he said they speak once a week, and more so talked about his health and his recovery. They don't really get too much about work, just more so he may ask a couple of questions, Roman that is, and it's really two friends catching up. So I like that, it's like legit. They're cool. It's
Right.
not something like, oh yeah, we're cool. When we're at work, but we legit talk outside of work. He also mentioned that he would love to face Kenny Omega. He feels that he's the best in the world, and obviously Kenny's one of the best. So, Seth's gonna have to do a little bit better against, certain people if he want to do that with Kenny.
The argument of best in the world in this generation right now after CM Punk, in my opinion, is between AJ Styles, Kenny Omega. No second, third. I'm sorry. No second, third. No close third. Like those two back and forth.
But
neck
why
and
do you
neck.
why do you say that? We can't get too deep into that.
Right.
But why do you say that? Because
You
like it
wanna
goes back down to like someone like for example, again, like, and don't flame me. I'm just saying, we just spoke about Mustafa Ali, right?
Right.
He doesn't have that platform like AJ and Kenny
Right.
to be like he's the best in the world. But when has Mustafa Ali has ever had a bad match?
That's fine.
His moveset is crazy, and you just said he's good at promos, better than AJ.
That's fine. I don't think he's better than. I can't.
I'm not saying Mustafa Ali
I'm not
is
saying
better.
all the way better than AJ, but the thing is that AJ and Kenny have more body of work.
And I understand what you're saying, but it's also it's so subjective because yes, you have more body of work and you've been in different
More
promotions,
consistent.
but it's not about being more consistent. It's about because that's how you're booked. It's not.
No. I'm talking about in terms of their matches. Like their matches are
But
always.
Mustafa Ali's match is consistent.
That's fine, but AJ and Kenny matches continue as many as they had continue to be top echelon.
Well, that's not necessarily the case because AJ didn't have the greatest matches this year. Like, I understand what you're saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know.
Because
we gotta have to get into it another time. This is like.
Yeah, because
that's
AJ's
gonna be a debate.
Yeah,
that has to be a debate.
Because we say a lot of people that are best in the world, but there's some people that are legit better, but don't have that same platform. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll get into that debate one day.
WWE confirms.
Nope, wait. Vince McMahon is reportedly furious about Seth and Dean match, according to Dave Meltzer.
I would be too. It goes back down to what we said throughout the whole show. There's no reason why Seth freaking Rollins and Dean Ambrose did not perform at least a 4-star match.
Right.
And this feud was terrible. It was hot when he did that turn on that night.
And ever since then, it's been...
Because you don't know. I still don't know what Dean's problem is. The reason for his attitude change.
I gave them a good reason. They didn't use it. I said...
I didn't listen to that part.
Roman was keeping them on afloat. And when Roman left, he couldn't do it anymore. It was like, yo, Roman is not a peacemaker no more. He can't save you.
They didn't listen to the show. They didn't listen to that episode.
WWE confirms major change to the championship match going forward. Automatic rematches will not be handed out anymore. WWE posted a poll on their website asking about the change.
What do you think?
I don't think that's fair.
I don't like it.
Because if you're a champion and you lost your title, you should get a rematch.
Yeah.
To confirm that person deserves to be champion.
Yeah.
Like, that one win could be a fluke.
Yeah.
This confirms that it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen a person win a title and then lose it?
And it's just like when you look at when you think of basketball and no, because not with football, but like a championship series, right? Like with
best of 7.
Yeah, the challenger might win 1 or 2, 3 games, but then the champions or the defending champions still have a few games left to prove that. Well, no, this is the reason why we're champions. So it goes back down to that, right?
And the Warriors has done that.
Yeah. So I don't like that. Like you want to promote change and give different opportunities, then take the title off of people like Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. If you want change, if you're trying to promote change, this doesn't help.
Yeah, and even if you have Brock around, let him do more dates. Allow him to do more dates. Don't limit him.
So just to clarify, the 6 NXT call-ups that are announced this past week during Raw and I guess during SmackDown as well. Lars Sullivan, well, that was already been mentioned, but Lars, Lacey Evans, EC3, Heavy Machinery, and Nikki Cross. What do you think about these call-ups?
I was always skeptical about Lars Sullivan. I don't know enough about Lacey Evans, but I'm hearing that this is a good time for her. He's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
EC3 makes sense to me. He has the look of that Vince likes, and he wasn't really doing much in NXT anyway.
I don't really care for EC3.
That's his gimmick.
Yeah.
That's what he's supposed to irk you like that. He's supposed to be like the college jerk. Like,
I don't know if he irks me. I'm just like, whatever. But anyway. But
Heavy Machinery, I don't see them doing big in the tag division. I don't see them with a meaningful role.
Yeah.
Kind of because I don't see it. And Nikki Cross, we've been crying for this for we've been dying for this for how long?
So the reason for the call-ups were because John Pollock of Post Wrestling said that WWE was looking to call up strong characters without crippling the NXT brand
And I see
and
that.
its, upcoming tour shows, the upcoming shows they have for their tour or whatever, and then I guess NXT Takeover coming up next month, and I see that too because I was like,
They've done it in the past and it hurt them very, very badly.
yeah, because you have Alistair, Velveteen, and all these other people that,
That-
but it just the women too. I'm just like, besides Nikki Cross and then Bianca Belair, I'm just trying to figure out, and I guess Shayna Baszler. Okay, I guess there's some women down there, but like the women's division for NXT
It
is like,
hasn't been as strong as the Four Horsewomen.
and the other women that came up from there. So I'm just like intrigued to see how they're gonna make that division strong again, and the tag team division strong too.
Speaking of the tag team division, the Mighties, Nick, I forgot his last name. I'm pulling it up right now. Nick, sorry, pulling up. Nick Miller
Yeah.
asked for his release from NXT, and he's staying in Australia. His wife just gave birth to their daughter, and I'm guessing the wife asked for some help, or he decided he wanted to stay back and be with his family. And the doors will always be open to him, the NXT said. So, the best to him. Also, the call-ups, Velveteen Dream started his his campaign
Yeah.
to try to get called up.
Yeah.
Velveteen, don't rush so fast, please.
Exactly.
Please.
But I mean, that's his character, right?
Right.
He's gonna put himself over.
Right.
Natalia interviewed with Yahoo Sports and was asked how she felt about WWE using her father's death as a storyline. Some of the quotes she said was, "My dad was a professional wrestler. He was a WWE superstar. He was a WWE legend before he passed away. And I feel like in some crazy way, this is like my dad having one last run." Do you want to finish the rest of the quotes?
I feel like I've asked my dad. I feel like if I ask my dad right now, Daddy, how do you feel about me doing the storyline? My dad would say, go for it. He understood pro wrestling. He understood how, for fans to become emotionally invested in stories, there has to be emotionally charged content. In some weird way, this storyline has been strangely therapeutic because anything I'm feeling, I could get it out. If I need to cry, I could get it out.
So the reason why I definitely put that, because it's just what we discussed last week and a couple of times, how like Few, for example,
Yeah.
didn't like that they used it for storyline and said that they were forced to use. And
I didn't say he was forced to use.
you
I was
used
like,
the words that the WWE forces.
nah,
this-
I didn't. I said,
You said that last
no.
week.
I said, this is what I said. I said, do you feel like if Vince came to you and said, hey, we need to use this storyline, that you're going to get an honest no?
You also said that you felt like that these storylines were forced upon them.
The family, yes.
Yeah.
'cause the family
so
doesn't
you
get
use
a
those
say.
words.
Yes, against the family. Also, about Natalia. Family, yes, because the family doesn't really get a say when it comes to WWE storyline. But I'm saying, like, if they ask Natalia, do you really expect Natalia to say no? Hearing this makes me feel better about it, but we didn't know. So I'm going to feel how I feel.
Well, it's not even so much we didn't know. I truly believe that's how all those wrestlers feel. They know what it is. They grew up watching just that, But it's good that for her, this is therapeutic. And she was able, and look, it wound up being a good story that she was told. They were able to tell at TLC, and now she conquered that demon, and now she has a title opportunity. Even though she's not gonna win, at least it gave her a storyline that she really typically didn't have.
Did you see a story that Ronda Rousey said she doesn't want to take an L in WWE and how people was taking that?
What?
She did an interview and she was saying that she doesn't want to take any losses in WWE, and people took it as if she's saying that she's not signing up for any losses in WWE. I don't know if that's what she meant by it, or she was
I
in
hope
character.
I hope that's not what she meant. I hope that's
She
like
was
you
in
said.
character.
But I told you, Rock 2.0. But I think I'm Aiden.
Raw audience this past.
Before we get into the Oscar thing, so Vince is taking a big liking to Oscar. He's actually very surprised. He was surprised by the pop that she
Yeah.
got when
They did who's gonna take Becky's spot.
Becky's spot, and I'm just like, bruh, what do you mean you surprised? What are you surprised for?
Did you not hear the boos when Charlotte won at WrestleMania?
So I mean, and it's just like, yo, you're so out of touch.
She should have never lost at WrestleMania. Granted, if it was going to be anywhere, it would be there, but you should at least have to let her have a year of dominance on the main roster.
Even like lose at SummerSlam or something. SummerSlam is still a big pay-per-view. Everything doesn't have to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but at least let her give her the 1 year of dominance before you do anything. She didn't even have to win no titles yet or anything.
And then after that, you
had
to look, and then you had to look silly on SmackDown for a large portion of the year.
Right. So
anyway, back to what you were saying.
Raw's audience this past week is up to 2.5 million views. Highest has been since October.
The McMahons bringing you back, but what you saw, if I didn't put this down, but the breakdown of the viewership, it went down, and it's unfortunate because the best hour was the last hour. Yeah. So, but
and I see them making efforts, because I said this too. They was pushing Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn heavy.
Well, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it for our discussion question. Do you believe WWE and the changes that are coming?
Yes, I believe in it. Only because, again, I've seen Vince get very tearful, and then once you start having all these articles about best Raw, or worst Raw ever, and I haven't been this disappointed, and I've seen people, like I said, I've seen people like, yo, I'm boycotting Raw. Like, I don't want to watch it. I'll watch the results, whatever have you. Yeah. I didn't see much changes on Raw, but again, I don't know if it's because they didn't have enough time to do what they wanted to do with it, or they want to wait till like after the new year to hit the reset. But I did see the changes on SmackDown, so that makes me optimistic. Like, all right. And then, too, I think they hear the footsteps of AEW. Like, they can't really leave no talent out there or wanting to leave to join that promotion. You had freaking the Revival tweeting Young Bucks. Yeah. Like, one day we'll have a match that everybody would. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that for your company. Yeah. Like, you don't want those kind of rumors that the Good Brothers are going to leave to rejoin their friends. Like, all of those, I feel like those are the. Again, I'm not saying AEW's going to come out and just put a blaze to everything, but it's the footsteps that you hear.
See, so I don't agree. I don't believe it, because we did that with the Give Divas a Chance and the Divas Revolution and the Women's Evolution. Like, yeah, it was there. We said what we were going to do. Pump fake. You know, and then we saw that we did stuff, and yes, it's still growing, but like it goes like evolution, right? We already know what happened. They put it on the back burner. It wound up being one of the better pay-per-views of the year, but that had a lot to do with the women, but not by WWE itself. You know, they say things like to make us happy, but I feel like eventually it's going to revert back to what they've been giving us. Because at the end of the day, Brock is still going to have the title, right? Ronda's still going to have the title, right? You're still going to pay certain part-timers and legends all this money to come and perform maybe once or however many times, you know? I believe it when I see that the stage set is changed for Raw. The stage set is changed for SmackDown, and it doesn't look like the same show. TLC. Okay, yeah, you have chairs, ladders, and whatever, you know? For me, it just looked like it was a Raw set. It looked like it was a pay-per-view. Like, there was a time when I was younger, and I used to watch Sunday Night Heat, and I used to be like, yo, I can't wait to see the pay-per-view. Like, or I want to see the pay-per-view, but my mom won't let me order it. Right. I don't get that. I didn't get that feeling this past week. I damn sure didn't get that feeling for Raw. Like, when I told you, I sat there for Raw, and I was just like, okay, yeah, it's cool to see them all together. It's cool, but nothing gave me the sense of like, okay, yeah, things are going to change. And the reason why I say that this too, but I'm not going to spoil it, I didn't, they recorded Raw for next week, and I think they did the same thing SmackDown. Right. The matches and everything, like I just breezed through it, is the same setup it's been for the past few weeks. So like you said, maybe it's a situation into the new year where, right, but you just literally reverted back to what you've been doing. So spare me until I see like certain people like that, the people that we want to see get pushed, and you stop putting the focus on the same people. I don't believe it. I really don't.
Yeah, I really think it's because again it was recorded, so it's not much you could do in those days for the next week. That's why when I looked at the next week. That's why when I looked at next week, I was like, all right, it's cool, but after this, I need this to be out there, because I think they're recording for New Year's 2 next week, because I think they're trying to give them time with their family during these holidays now. Yeah. That's a change. You know what I'm saying? Usually these wrestlers have to work these
during
holidays.
The holidays. Yeah.
Like, that's a change. So I feel like it's gonna happen. It's gonna just take time to turn. I don't think they're gonna change the sets yet because they have to change the sets when they get to Fox.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna change nothing yet that major. But
But my thing is, why not? You have the money. There's no stop paying all these people certain money. And it's not even a dig at Brock, but stop putting your, like you say, eggs all in one basket and paying people all this type of money. The reason why Evolution was so dope, and I continue to bring this up, it was very minimum like production, right? But it felt intimate.
Right.
It felt real. It felt like what us wrestling fans.
Same as NXT.
And same thing with NXT all the time for TakeOver. You know what I mean? Like,
we need larger than life on pay-per-views.
You need either larger than life or make it intimate where it feels like
in your house,
like exactly like it used to be.
I say bring Pyro back. That's the only thing I'm waiting on.
That's what I was alluding to in regards to stage sets and like bringing the when the wrestlers come out with their entrances. I'm gonna end it off on that. But like, you know, like now they don't even put the video packaging.
No, it's just their name.
It's just their name. Bring that back. Bring the pyro.
Yeah, like
it just gets you hype. I remember when, you know how for every Sunday we put a music clip. I wanted to do Raw, like from whatever, and when every time Raw came on, and then the pyro.
But not only that, at each hour it was pyro.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're gonna get to Warzone.
Like,
new music,
new
graphics.
You have the money. Like if you want to put out in the new year, new me. I want to see all that. If not, bite me. You might have to edit that out. Bite me. No, never mind. Damn it. It's not that bad. Anyway, that's our show.
Yep.
Again, thank you to the WWE shop for lacing us with these 5 years. I have the sold out Becky Lynch. Okay. I have the sold out Becky Lynch holiday ugly sweatshirt that you can't get and no one else can get because I'm the man. Becky's the man.
You're not
sold
the man.
out.
You're not
hot
the
fire. Straight fire.
You're not the man.
Definitely look out for our year-end awards. We may have a couple of listeners stop by and help us out. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you after Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We hope everybody gets.
Follow us on our Instagram and Twitter at The Mixed Tag Show, or our personal at Blue Magic Grind, or
at Miss Jenna Baby BAYBEE, or
at for what?
Oh, you said at Blue Magic Grind?
Yeah, I did.
I don't really listen to you, so I don't know.
See? You see how she treats me? And if you want something from the WWE shop, make sure you click the link in our bio under the link tree or in our description in the bottom for YouTube. And on that note, I bid you adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night.
It's the Mixed Tag Show.
The Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna
and Blue.